Okay, so I have started the recording and let me share my screen as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, yeah, I can see the screen now. Yeah.
Okay. DP203 Data Engineering. Data Engineering on Microsoft Azure. Right. So in this course, Raj, actually we have, 12 modules. Right. We have 12 modules. So how we are going to cover these modules, what practice we will adopt, right? About the lab, hands-on, and you know the time frame I will decide now, right? So first let me discuss about the 12 modules which we have to cover for this entire course. So I would be back on my introduction slide. So course name Data Platform 203 Data Engineering in Azure. Right. So I will be come to about the course, right? So we know it's for data engineers, and these are the the agenda which we have to cover, right? So as a prerequisite, kind of, you are already done with the the prerequisite DP 900, right? And the audience for right audience for this course would be who might have worked on or might be working on as a business intelligence, data architect, right, data professional, consultants. They would be the primary audience for this course. And secondary audience would be those who don't wanna, leverage services of Azure, but some of the services for their day-to-day work they wanna leverage.
Mm.
They would be the secondary audience. Like I just want to know about the Cosmos TV. I have to work on a data lake. Some of the services, they might be a secondary audience, or the primary audience would be data professional, data engineers, architect, right? Those would be the primary
Yeah.
audience. If I come to the each of the module, if I come to each of the modules, so I said already it have 12 modules, but it says 11 right there. In fact, it says 11. I mentioned here 12. Why? Because I consider I consider module number 0 as well. Why? Because it is set up the lab. How we can set up the lab? It is about, right?
Okay.
So module number 0, data engineering in course overview. There would be overview about the course and the how we can set up the lab. These are the major things for this module number 0 is how we can set up the lab. For this, we have dedicated LOD, dedicated learn on demand setup, and how we have to set this, all the things on that lab. I'll tell you later on. Shortly, just I'll tell you, right? We have dedicated lab. I need not to download, I need not to install the things on my local system, but still, if you want to install the things on the local system, yeah, I will tell you the alternate way as well, right? This LOD would be assigned to you, I believe, for 6 months, right? And it would be a more than enough time to practice on that. Then, module number 1 is about explore, compute, and storage options for the data engineering workload, right? Compute stands for right there computation, process, how we have to process the data, how we can process the data. Store, where we will store our data, of course, for storage purpose. We have what? We have a data lake, right? We can store the data on data lake. When it comes to processing computation, we have what? We have Databricks, right? So in the introduction module, this module is, talks about the entire, this module will talk about the entire course. Entire course, yeah, because in this entire course, we have to come across to the Synapse Analytics, come across to the Databricks, the data lake, the stream analytics, all these things. Introduction is there, right? So we
Yeah.
won't be able to expect much here in the introduction module. I won't be able to cover everything about the Synapse. I won't be able to cover everything about the Databricks because later on these are the dedicated modules. On those modules we'll explore in detail, right? So module number 1 would be the introduction about compute and storage options for the data engineering workload. Then module number 2 says run the interactive queries using Synapse Analytics serverless SQL pool, right? So what exactly serverless SQL pool is, how we can run the queries using the serverless SQL pool is about in module number 2. Module number 3 says data exploration, transformation using what? Databricks. While using the Databrick, how we can perform, explore the, how we can explore the data, how we can transform it, how we can put it somewhere is in module number 3 using the Databricks. Yeah. Then module number 4, again, it says explore, transform, then load data. And previously, if I go back, explore, transform data, 2 modules. But remember, module 3 about the data brick, module 4 is about the Synapse Analytics, right? Likewise, previously they are talking about the Databricks and module number 4 talking about the sorry, module 3 talking about the Databricks and module 4 talking about the Synapse Analytics using Apache Spark, right? Module 4 again says ingest, load data where into the data warehouse. If I say Synapse Analytics, in fact, it's a, I would say data warehouse. It's a embed integration service, Synapse Analytics is. Right inside the Synapse, what we can do, of course, we can create the data warehouses, right? So previously, how we have to process the data, how we have to extract, transform the data using the Synapse inside the Synapse using the Apache Spark. But this time we would explore what? We would explore the data warehouse. How we can create a data warehouse inside the Synapse, outside to the Synapse, right? It's about module number 5. Then, then there is a module number 6. It says transform data with Azure Data Factory or Azure Synapse Pipeline. So remember, you know the data factory. I know you know the data factory and the same task which we can do via data factory, the same can be done via Azure Synapse Analytics with the pipelines as well, right? So majorly in the lab as well, they have focused where? They have focused on the Synapse Analytics because data factory is an individual service, right? Along with the data factory, I may have to create a different services as well. But while we are in Synapse, inside the Synapse, it's embedded. It will embed the lot more services inside it. That is Synapse. Later on, we'll explore it. Then orchestrate and data movement sequentially transform it again in Synapse pipelines. So previously we were using the notebooks where notebooks in a Databricks, notebooks in a Synapse Analytics. How we can integrate those notebooks into the Synapse pipeline is about module number 7 is. So module number 8 talks about the security. Security, yeah. End-to-end security with Azure Synapse Analytics, right? So right there we have a key vault. We can implement the column level security, row level security, or the data masking and the IB configurations. All such things they have discussed in module number 8. Module number 9 says STAP. It's a latest new feature. It is support hybrid transactional analytical process, right? While we have data in Cosmos DB, we have a data in Cosmos DB. So my application data is on a Cosmos DB, and that data I have to process where I have to bring into the Synapse Analytics, my Synapse service. How? How I would bring that data is encapsulated in module number 9. I have to enable two features for that. I have to enable two features for that. One would be the Synapse link, and one more facility, column store facility, I need to enable for that. Analytical facility I need to enable. By using those facilities, I can bring my Cosmos DB's data where? In Synapse Analytics. All right. Then module number 10 is there. It would talk about the real-time stream processing. Stream processing with Azure Stream Analytics. Don't get confused between the Azure Stream and Synapse, right? Azure Synapse and Azure Stream. These are different services, right? I have data. Data is somewhere, my physical devices keep continuously generating that data. I have to capture that data and I have to perform analysis on that data. How? There would be a special protocol that we have to enable. We have to manage that chain. While using the Azure Stream Analytics, using the Event Hub, I can perform the analysis on that data, right? And the same thing we are doing with the Azure Stream, and same thing I can do with the Databricks as well, right? Data stream processing solutions with Event Hubs and Azure Databricks, right? So it is all about the course. These are the 11 plus introduction module book become a 12. These are the 12 modules we have to cover. And now the thing is, we
Hiten,
are,
sorry to interrupt you.
yeah,
I
please.
mean, the course outline that I got from the uh, when I actually got from who is that TM? It has 17 modules in it. Are we missing any modules in this? Because what you have shown me is I think 12 modules, 11 modules
Yeah,
plus zero module.
yeah.
Are we missing any modules
Actually,
from this?
actually, it was previously 17 modules was there, right? But
Uh,
in the latest one, there are 12 modules. Just moment, let me check it. How you have received? Let me check the. Just for a while, let me stop my screen. Which
do
is
you want me to share that with you?
just can put the snippet right there. Just moment. 203T00. It was actually previously a few months back. It was 17 modules, but now Microsoft have shrink the modules and they have put some new features like the ASTEP and all such inside it. It was previously, if I say in June, July something, but let me just for a while I have to mute myself and I'll ask to the concerned person how which one they have shared to you. Just a moment. Yeah, hi sir.
I then
Actually, you have received the, I would say, the older TOC, tables of content. It's the latest one. Even though when you will redeem the skill pipe, you will get the courseware. In the same, you will get the 12 modules, right?
okay. Because it's on your website as well. If you go to your website,
Hmm.
you can have a look. Do you want to have a look?
Let me share. It's a official one. In a official as well, DP2038, there are 12 models. If I would open, let me share my screen. Yeah, it's the latest one, right? And even in the latest one, there are 12 modules, total 12 modules, including zero. And the
Okay.
courseware,
Can you go to your website once?
yeah, please, just a moment. Just while it's not going ahead, I have to stop it and let me share back. Okay.
So if you search for DP203 in that,
Yeah, the number of modules are there, but let me erase both these concerns. I'll erase both these. But in fact, all these modules eventually would cover these things. All these modules would cover compute and storage, serverless SQL pool, transmission, Databricks, Apache Spark, warehouse, pipelines, notebooks, security, STEP, stream analytics, and stream analytics with the Databricks, all these modules. And this one would be the latest, this one. Let me raise both these concerns, sir, please, and then I'll get back to you. Just hang in. Just hang in, sir. You have received it when, sir? May I know, please?
uh, this week itself.
In this week. Okay. Let me.
While you talk to, yeah, are you talking to someone about this?
I'm talking, sir. Just a moment.
Yeah. Can I just be back in couple of minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem, sir.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir.
I can.
Yeah. Actually, since June or July something, it was it was they have shrink it to 12 modules, and officially it was not updated right there. And I'll just raise this concern. And in a officially courseware, of course, you will get the latest contents in a officially courseware you will get, sir. I'm just going to raise this concern. I'm near to complete it. Sir, have you attended any training previously on Microsoft?
Microsoft training with you
Because
or outside?
no, or anywhere, sir. Just because of skill pipe account. Do you have a skill pipe account, sir? I have pasted a link in a chat window. Is if it is okay, can please share your screen. Let me do that. Just a moment. First, I'll do. Let I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Yeah. So you have to for the courseware, right? For a courseware, we have to come on a skill pipe, right?
Mhm.
The URL I have pasted in a chat window. In a
Okay.
skill pipe, we may need a account for the skill pipe. If we are on a very first time right there, we can register. If we already have an account, we can use that one, but make sure I'll recommend to make use of a personal account here instead of uh, you know instead of an official one right there. If we don't have any account, can say join now, can provide all the information afterwards. You have to provide the credentials here, say sign in. Immediately it would ask you for the key, add a course. Yeah, have to say add a course, then here you have to provide the license key to redeem a course. Once you will provide the license key, I will paste that key in a chat window. Then have to come to the menu and a bookshelf, and over there you will get the the contents, the e-courseware for you for 2 to 3 months something. Likewise, so I'll request you please can redeem the your e-courseware, and here is a link skillpipe.com, and then the key would be key is this one. Here is the key, sir. Not visible. Paste it here.
Okay. Can you sorry, tell me the key, please?
Here is the key.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Okay, just successfully redeemed. So I
Now
need
you
to
can
add a
come to Bookshell, redeem it, then accept term and condition license agreement all such, then can come to Bookshell.
okay, is this Microsoft official material or is this something that
No, sir, it's a official one.
okay. Okay, is this same as Microsoft Learn? What you get in Microsoft Learn or is it different?
No, sir, it's provided by Microsoft, sir. It's a official courseware, sir. It's
Yeah,
official courseware.
no, I'm just asking, is this same as what you get in Microsoft Learn? There's a Microsoft Learn website, right?
Still not understand, sir.
Do you know Microsoft Learn?
Microsoft Learn, the official course adopt from the Microsoft. The same you will get over there as well, sir.
Oh, I'm asking, is this the same one as what you get in Microsoft Learn?
I'm not getting in one place Microsoft Learn, sir. What it means exactly.
So this we have this book, right? Whatever the
Yeah.
book that we have in this skill pipeline,
Yeah.
and what we have in say
My my slide
Microsoft
X.
Learn. Microsoft Learn. Do you know Microsoft Learn?
I'm not getting you at this plate, sir. Microsoft Learn.
Do you know? Can you go to my can you type Microsoft Learn? Can you share your screen and
Just a moment.
type in Microsoft Learn?
Okay, you're talking about the official documentation, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
So if you type DP203, Microsoft Learn will Microsoft Learn has this what you call the material. So I'm asking you, is this same as Microsoft Learn? Whatever
Yeah,
is in here.
it would be, sir, same to the latest one. It would be the latest one, sir,
Okay.
which I have
Okay.
provided to you, sir. Yeah, see, sir. So it's the latest one. And I'll show the previous one as well, right there, Microsoft Learn. These things I was showing you on GitHub, and the same things are there on Microsoft Learn. These links are
Okay.
actually included, for some of the courses, links are included for like the data analyst and all such. These links are actually included over there for Microsoft official documentation. And in Microsoft Learn, explore compute and storage and storage for the engineering workload. Lab is there, run interactive queries, which I was discussed. Explore transform using the Databricks and the lab for this. And then thereafter explore transformation using the Apache Spark module 4. And then ingest data module 5, so transformation with the synapse, and then orchestrate movement synapse pipelines end-to-end security, and then support as step, uh, then real-time stream processing, and then there would be the last module stream processing. These are the latest contents. These are the, and I believe you will get the same contents in a skill pipe, sir, in the menu in a bookshelf right there. If I'm not wrong, you can just check it, sir.
Just a moment, sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the updated one. I'm not sure why how you have received the different content, but in fact these are the latest one which we have received, sir. Okay, and just a moment, I have one more concern. I'll erase this. Okay, sir. I'm good. I guess we can start. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. So I was talking, sir, previously about the course entire roadmap, right? The things would be like things would be I'll teach you 1 to 1.2 hours, right? I'll teach you continuously 1 to 1.2 hours. Thereafter, I would allow you some time for lab practice or lab hands-on, I would say. And meanwhile, like I would say, usually it's a 4 hours. So after 1 and 45 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, we can have a 15 minutes of break as well, right? For a coffee, for a tea, right? Short break we can have. So since we are in, I would say, in 4 hours, I don't think we need a lunch break. Usually it is on a 8 hours. So that's how first I'll teach you. Then afterwards, I would allow you 1 to 1.1 and hour dedicatedly for the lab. You need not to do like this, like while I'm teaching and behind the scene you are doing the same. No, while I'm teaching you, just focus on me, and you have dedicated time for to perform the hands-on. One thing, right? So another thing would be the sequence of these modules. I wanna alter. I wanna alter because let's say in module number two, they are talking about the serverless SQL pool, right? In module 3, again, they are talking about the data bricks. So majorly here in this course, majorly here in this course, they talked about the data bricks and analytics, synapse analytics. In the throughout the course, they have talked about the data bricks and synapse analytics. So what I'll do, first I would cover the data bricks. First, I would cover the Databricks, then I would cover the Synapse Analytic for some reasons. Because if I come with a sequentially after first module, after the module number one, where we have all the introduction, Then in second module, they are talking about the serverless SQL pool, which is part of the Synapse. But Synapse Analytics, the we have to cover where we have to know about the module number 4. So that's some sequence difference here. First, I have to cover the Synapse pool or the Synapse Analytics. For Synapse pool, serverless SQL pool, we must know about the Synapse Analytics. And about the Synapse Analytics is on module number 4. That's what. So what I'll do, first I'll cover module 0 and the module 1, then afterwards module number 3, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
afterwards
That's
module number 11, which is again about the Databricks. That's how. Is it okay, sir?
yeah.
Fine. So like day-wise, or day-wise, I would say because it's a 4 hour. Usually we are doing, the same practice which I use in a 8 hours, right? First, I
Mm.
would like to cover introduction module. Then thereafter, I would cover module number 1, which is introduction. And thereafter, I will cover, let me say, module module 0 first, then afterwards module 1, right? And after module 1, I would cover module number 3. After module 3, I would cover module number 4 and 5. 4. And thereafter, I would cover module number 2, which is about the serverless SQL pool. Then afterwards, module number 6 and 7 altogether. 6 and 7. Then the remaining modules would be 8, 9, 10. Then I'll cover module number 8, module number 9, and then module number 10. That's how. Because introduction 0 number module is about the lab configuration. Module number 1 is about the introduction. Module 3 is about the Databricks. Module 3 is about the Databricks, and I missed here module number 11. I missed here, sorry. Module 11. After module 11, then completely we will move to the Synapse Analytics. Then we will leave the Databricks right there. We'll move towards the Synapse Analytics. Likewise. Okay, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even not
And
me.
Azure
So,
and Data
yeah,
Factory, are we covering Data Factory with, I
okay.
mean, you've talked about Synapse
Good.
and Analytics and the red bricks, but we're not covering Azure Data Factory.
See, sir, let me go back. I would be back here.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can do Azure Data Factory or Azure Synapse Pipeline, right? So we would understand the difference between the data factory and the pipeline, because the same task which you can do through the data factory, the same we
Yeah.
can do via Azure Synapse Analytics. It's an
No.
embed service. Are we aware about
No.
the Synapse Analytics, sir?
Not in depth. As I said, I know Azure Data Factory, but not Synapse Analytics. No.
If I say about the data factory, it's a integration service, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong,
Yeah, data
right?
integration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
integration service. So I'll give you the pictorial representation for that. Then you would be able to understand the same task we can do via Synapse Analytics. Microsoft
No.
here majorly have focused on the Synapse, but in fact, the same task which we are doing with the data factory, same we can done with the Synapse. Same.
Okay. Cool.
If
Yeah.
you would ask me to create a service for the data factory, yeah, of course, we can do that as well.
Okay.
Can
Sure.
do that. Right.
Perfect.
So likewise, we are going to cover this course first module number 0, then module number 1 about the introduction, then Databricks, transform the data using the Databricks and process the streaming data, right? And then afterwards about the Synapse Analytics, serverless SQL pool, perform the transformation using the Synapse pipeline, security, hybrid transaction analytical processing, and stream analytics. This is how the sequence, not even me, throughout the continent, all the cities used to use the same sequencer. right? So if I come to introduction module, module number 0, which is about the lamp. So for lamp, I will give you the, let me provide you the credentials for you. Okay, let me stop my screen and I will paste the credentials in a chat window so that you can access the lab. Just a moment. Courseware lab detail. Yeah. Okay. Your username is this, password is this, this is the URL. Okay. Yeah. You have redeemed the courseware and okay, because I'm directly copying it from the mail, that's what it's here. And then I'll put into chat window. Yeah. So, sir, please, you can share your screen and then I'll guide you. Yeah, provide the email address right there. So exactly, which I have provided in a chat window. Yeah, just click on a view agreement. Okay. Then there is a launch button, sir. Data engineering on Microsoft Azure launch button. Yeah. It would take to you on a separate tab, even though I'm not able to see that separate tab. I'm unable to see, sir, after the launch button while we clicked on a launch button. After that, I'm unable to see.
Sorry, it's on separate window. I'm talking on it. It's loading up. I'll share it once
Yeah, sure,
started.
sure.
I have a very big screen, so if I share the screen, complete screen, it looks like this. Have a look. So I have to share window by window.
Yeah, I can understand, sir.
I think
Yeah,
it is on really small, right?
yeah, no problem, sir. Okay, so it is lab is loading in a while, and now we need Azure Pass for this, to perform the exercise, to perform the hands-on, yeah, right there. We can just stop it. We are good up to here. Here, we have to configure the lamp, sir. We have to configure the lamp for our this course, this training DP203. And how we have to configure the lamp. Let me cover some introduction, some basic part, and afterwards we can jump into the lab. And because it needs 45 minutes to 1 hour in order to configure the lamp, I will do that on the way along with me. Uh, the same fashion, in the same manners, you can configure the lamp.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes. Entering the password.
just can click on a typing facility, sir. Click on a T. That's it. Now we are inside the computer and it's a virtual machine. We are just logged into a different computer, but still it is empty. We have to configure our lab. How we have to configure? After the introduction, we will configure the labs. Even though I would also configure for me for this training, of course. Okay, let me go ahead with the next part. Let me share my screen, sir. I hope it is visible, sir. My screen is visible. Okay. Uh, before going ahead to the module number one, before going ahead to module number one, I just want to put some light on a basic concept, sir. On a basic concepts in terms of what is a data engineer, what he or she can do, the roles and responsibility associated with it, why we need a data engineer, the types of data. These some basic concepts. Just quickly, I wanna discuss if it is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I say, let me. I hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said Azure cloud. So what we would understand by this term, sir, Azure cloud, sir. Azure, I would say, let me segregate these two terms, sir. I will segregate these two terms. I would say Azure would be a cloud service provider. It's a cloud service provider, Azure is, from Microsoft. And whereas cloud is, what exactly cloud is? Cloud, I would say, cloud is a platform. Cloud is a platform. Platform which will provide me what? Which provides me what? Which provides me everything. Everything on what? Everything on rent. Everything on rent. So everything which is required to set up an IT infra, storage, processor, computation, cores, servers, all such thing. While we are doing it on a rent, we would say it's a cloud, right? Azure cloud. So one more thing, sir, are we aware about the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and managed instances? Are we aware about these terms, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, then I guess we can skip it, or we need to put some light on that, sir.
I think we can skip it
Yeah.
as of now. I understand all these things.
Fine. So if I say data engineer, why, you know, why we need a data engineer? Data engineer is used, the responsibility for data engineer is to connect and collect the data, and my data might be on any source. Any source would be what? Source would be, uh, you know, might be my structured, unstructured, semi-structured, or stream source. Anything it could be. I have to connect with that source. I have to collect my data, and I have to place the data on appropriate data store. I have to process it, maybe have to perform on a transmission on that, right? And I have to make it ready for the reports, for analysis. I may have to consider the security as well, right? That's what we need a data engineer. I use some of the terms, sir, if you remember, analysis. Analysis we used to do. on premises as well. On premises, yeah. So if I talk about on premises, so on premises, I may have different sources. We may have different sources. From these sources, I have to put some data somewhere. I have to extract this data from my source. I have to extract the data. This side I have a source. Source might be, let's say, my DB or my Excel. I have to extract it where? On some area that would be a staging area. Then I have to perform a transmission on that. Then I will put it on a data warehouse. Afterwards, I can perform my analytics. Afterwards, I can perform my analytics on that data. But this task, business intelligence term, it's about, we are able to hard this term for 2 decades, I guess, 1 to 2 decades, right? Previously, we used to do the same thing, and now in cloud, again, we are doing the same thing. Again, we are doing the same thing, right? The difference is now in these days, the, I would say, amount of data is too huge. Amount of data is too huge and no one wants to wait. I need a huge performance. No one wants to wait. For that, there is a MPP systems are there. Massive parallel processing systems are there, right? MPP systems are there to provide the better performance. Better performance. If I say about the on-premises, the same task we used to do via SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, Power BI, right? All those things we can do via these tools as well. Now, data engineer is responsible. It He can host any type of data. Any type of data. Yeah, data might be structured, data, semi-structured, and stream data. Any type of data, right? Data engineer have to do what? Data engineer have to host this data and have to provide the layer to the data analyst, to my stakeholders. They guys can use it, right? So if I say about the structured data, let me write some. uh, we may have some databases to store the structured data. When we talk about structured data, so we may have couple of tables inside the database. We may have couple of tables inside the database, right? And there would be an application. Now the point is, who is generating the data, sir? Who is generating the data for database, sir? Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, customers or say uh, any data source that we want to take. It's all outside sources, probably customers for us, or even inside uh, sales or any. It could be anyone.
Hmm. If I use one term, if I use one term called end user, would it be okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Right? So I have a end users. Let's say we have end users, right? These users are pointing to the applications. These users are pointing to the application, and my application is interacting with the database, right? Application is interacting with the database. Now, This user needs to perform some analytics. This user needs to perform some analytics. Let's say we have relation with this table to this table having with this one, this have with this one, so on so forth. Likewise, right? Now I have to produce the report using this table and using this table. While we are in uh, I would say database. I have to produce the report using this table and this table. So then what I'll do, sir? I have to perform what? I have to perform the joins. So I have to take into loop this account, this table, this table, this table. These are the tables. Lot more tables. I have to take into loop, right? While I'm taking all these things into all these tables into loop, of course, in RDBMS, in fact, it can degrade the performance while we have multiple tables, right? It would take lot and lot more time. On another side, we are talking about the performance, and right there, we are this system is degrading the performance, right? So then there is are we aware about fact and dim tables? Are we aware, sir? Rasa,
Fact tables. Yeah.
dimension table and fact tables, right?
Yes.
So then,
Fact table is the main table. Dimension table is the one that's more helping the fact table with dimensions. Like for example, uh, it could be metadata or anything um, that it's helping with.
exactly, exactly. Okay. If I say structure data, let me come back here then, sir. So data engineer, we know, are responsible for the provisioning, have can host provisioning stands for configuration, sir. We can host any type of data, sir. So when it comes to structured data means, sir, rules. Structured means rules. Rules where we have to follow the rules. We have to follow the rules on database and I would say schema bound, right? So rules, database, okay. So in tabular format, we know wherever we have rows and column structure, that would be known as a structured data. Rows and columns, of course, it's a structured data. So likewise, we have a column data type, right? So according to the data type, same data we can insert inside that column. Along with the rules, I may have a primary key, we may have a foreign key, we may have a check constraint, unique constraint, right? We may have not null, right? Applied on the column, right? We cannot violate the rules. We cannot violate the rules. If it is primary key, I have to follow the rules for primary key. If it is a foreign key, that value should be present into the primary key. If it is a check constraint, all the way, all the time, it have to check whether value is greater than this, less than this, all such. Unique value should be there. So it is schema bound. It is schema bound. It is right. So I can use what standard query language SQL we can use to interact with the database. If I have to interact, I have to read the record from a database. I would use the SQL. I would say no. I have to update some records. I may have to remove some records. Then I would use what standard query or a structured query language. The many RDBMSs are available, so many RDBMS are available like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, right? Lot more than 30 vendors would provide me the RDBMSs, right? So RDBMS, yeah, relational database we would say. So relational database, again, these are categorized into two different forms, I would say, OLTP and OLAP. OLTP. Whereas OLTP is my transaction processing online. online transaction, online analytical transaction processing, online transaction processing, sorry. OLTP is, and OLTP in fact it is what? It is a database. It is a database. OLTP is, right? Whereas OLAP, it's my analytical processing, and in fact it is what? It is a data warehouse. Data warehouse. While we are in database, while we are in database, I would call only table, not a fact and dim tables. I would call it as a tables only, not a fact and dim tables. Table we know whenever we have a tabular data, but when it comes to data warehouse, then we will use the terms uh, fact and dim tables. Fact and dim tables. Now, fact table would be what? Fact table have to store what? Fact table have to store measures. Fact table have to store measures. Measures what? Financial, numeric columns. It have to store, right? And they are huge in size. They are huge in size, right? Fact table have to store measures, numeric, financial columns, and there might be duplicated value. Why? Because it contains foreign keys. It contains foreign keys. Whereas my dim table contains what? Dim table contains explanatory information. Explanatory information about my customer, let's say name, customer ID, their city, their phone, address, email. Likewise, dim table contains what? Dim table contains explanatory information, and inside the dim we have unique data. There would be primary key and there would be a foreign key. Design would be different. OLTP and OLAP design would be different in both cases. I need OLTP for what? I need OLTP for, I would say, day-to-day activity. Day-to-day activity, I need a OLTPs because it have to keep the every transactions. Whereas OLAP, I need for what? I need for analytical, analytics, insights. I need for analytics, and I have to produce the decision insights. For this, there would be a data warehouse. Inside the data warehouse, we have a fact and dimension tables. When it comes to OLTP, so I don't want to go back on premises, on Oracle, on a SQL server. We are on cloud. So I will talk about in OLTP, we have Azure SQL database. Cloud, it is a service, Azure SQL database. You better know about that. Azure SQL database. It's a service name actually, right? When we need to store our data, structured data on Azure, we can use this service, Azure SQL database. In fact, it is what? It's a platform as a service. Things are not transparent. Which version on which platform? Not know. We are not aware about that. Just we want to store the data. I can use this service. Lift and shift is not possible. For that, we can go for the IES infrastructure or managed instances, right? Azure SQL database would be the service name when it comes to cloud. And when it comes to data warehouse, here we have Azure Synapse, Synapse Analytics. This is the service. And the data warehouse we can create inside it. Warehouse inside the service. Even individual service we also can create. But Here we'll create it inside the Synapse Analytics, right? These are the choices which are available for us, Azure SQL database and Synapse Analytics. So while we are on, on the database, let me go back here. While we are on the database, I have to produce my report. Of course, it can degrade the performance. It might can take 1 hour, 1 day, right? 8 hours, it might can take. So I need a different mechanism. I need a different mechanism. That mechanism would be what? I have to extract the data, or not only the one database. Might we have different databases? Might we have different databases? Might we have couple of tables, couple of database, couple of servers from where we have to extract the data for reporting purpose? For reporting purpose. So what I'll do now, I'll take this data, then there is a one another term comes into picture. So I have to extract the data. Might there would be, let me write. I will create a one more server here. One more server with a different tables. I have to extract the data, and these are pointing to the applications, my end users. End users would be pointing to the applications. And what I'll do this time, I have to extract the data from different locations. Then I will call it as what? I will call it as, I will extract the data from this source and this source to here. This place would be known as, may I know, sir? This process is known as what? ETL. I have to extract the data. I have to perform transmission. Why? Because on my day-to-day data, there are lots of glitch, lots of bugs on data, right? Garbage data would be there. In fact, which I need not for the analytical purpose, right? Which I need not for analytical purpose. Then what I'll do, I have to perform the transmission on that. We have to perform the transmission on that. Transmission in terms of, I will provide a more refined view on the data. Yeah. And here in the transmission part, what I have to do, I have to perform the transmission. In the transmission, what sort of actions, sir? May I know, please? Raj, sir.
Transformation
Hmm.
of
Please.
the transformation and loading.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, see, let me go back, sir. While I was talking, I have a data, I have to perform the analytics. In fact, database cannot store the historical data. There might be in a database, data would be for current plus last 3 months. Data would be there. In case of telecom, while we are on telecom, data might be for current plus last 3 month data would be there. If I have to perform the analysis on 2015, would it be possible? No. That data would be where? That data would be stored into data warehouse. Historical data. Historical data would be available where? On the data warehouse since the beginning of my business, right? And here I said, I have just a limited data. There might be a garbage data. On a garbage data, I have to eliminate unnecessary things. Then these unnecessary things would be, might I have to filter my data. I have to filter the data, which I used to do where? Which we used to do in SSIS, Power BI, right?
Mhm.
I have to filter the data, and then because I'm just drawing this diagram because later on all these things would be converted based upon our requirement. Previously these are the things, and now these are the alternates on a cloud. That's what. We are going to understand these things. On premises, okay. And if I talk about on cloud, these would be the alternatives on a cloud. That's how so. So on a garbage data, I might have to filter it. It says for 2015 along with 2016. No, I need just for 2015. Okay, along with I need 2010 as well. Yeah, okay, I can filter it. Then I would say I may have to rename the column because because while we are extracting the data, while we are extracting it, there would be my dim cust name or dim currency, dim cust ID. Likewise, different columns would be there. Seems to be awkward while I would produce my analytics. While I would produce my analytics, then I may have to rename the table. I may have to rename the column, right? Then I would say I have to shape the data. I have to shape the data. I have to explore the statistics. This data contains duplicate values or it is unique data, right? It is unique data, or directly I can go ahead with my I can put it out somewhere. Likewise, so I may have to shape the data. I need to provide the proper shape. I may have to perform the cleansing, right? I may have to create the calculated columns measures, right? I may have to create the calculated columns in terms of the column which might not be available at source. I have introduced it here. Let's say we have a salary and I need an annual salary as well, right? So that for I would use what? I would use calculated column or measures we can do, right? All these things we have to perform where? We have to perform in some place, and this would be the place for this transmission. Here I would perform the transmission, right? And this transmission I would apply where? This transmission I would load in my where's a data warehouse. I would load it where? In data warehouse. And both my data warehouse are designed to store the structured data, but the difference would be in the fashion how they would store the data. And in data warehouse there would be a central table, and my this central table would be connected to all the dim tables. There might be a lot more dim tables, and these tables are connected to my fact tables. These dim tables are connected to my fact table, right? Then this approach, I would say what? Let me say, yeah, I have extracted the data from my source, right? I perform the transmission on this. Then afterwards, I have to load it. I have to load it where? I have to load it in my data warehouse. Now, data warehouse keep the quality data. Data warehouse would keep the quality of data. Quality data would be there, right? And furthermore, what I will do with this data? I have to perform what? I have to perform the last stage reports and analysis. I have to perform my analysis, analytics, insights. These insights using the tools. Tool might be my BI tools, Power BI, Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition, right? SSAS, SSRS, these things. It's a just a quite overview. If I have a data, if I say about the database, this structured data, right? And right now directly I wanna go for the reporting. On the way, these things have to happen. I may have to perform the transmission on that. I may have to put it on somewhere, then afterwards I can go for it. But while we are on cloud, so how we will get the same facility in a cloud? Hmm. On cloud, I would say I have end users. I have end users, right? Then these are the application might be my Java application, my .NET application, right? Application might be Java application, .NET, PHP, right? Would be code on any of the technology. Then for database, we may have SQL Server database, we may have Oracle database, Microsoft, MySQL, anything it could be, right? And on Azure, we have Azure SQL database. And when it comes to ETL process, for ETL process, right? There would be Informatica, SSIS, right? ODI, Oracle Data Integrator, different tools are available, right? Here. And when it comes to warehouse, we have service on cloud, which is analytics, right? And comes to BI tools would be uh, my Power BI, right? Likewise, the same thing we have to perform where? Now on cloud. Either we can make it, ETL, or we also can make it ELT. We can make it, sir, ELT. That's all up to us. Whether first you wanna transform it or you wanna load it. We will do right there. ELT, sir, instead of ETL, right? The same task we used to do on premises with SSIS, right? And the same task even I can do SSIS, because on a cloud, the alternative for this is Azure Data Factory, right? The same thing we can do in Data Factory as well for transmission. Even though Data Factory, yeah, as well as Synapse, it's an embed of all such things. My data warehouse, my storage account, my data factory, the combination of all these is Synapse Analytics. Okay. Are we okay, sir, up to here?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
All these make sense or not, sir?
Yes, it
Does,
does. Yeah.
yeah, okay then. Fine. So this is about the structured data. Still, we have two more things, sir. We have semi-structured data. We have stream data as well. So when it comes to semi-structured data, so are we aware about the semi-structured data? May I know some input, please? From where the semi-structured data would be generated and how we would handle the semi-structured data, what sort of facilities are there to handle it?
On Azure, semi-structured data could be
Cosmos,
um,
yeah,
yeah, Cosmos DB is stored
excellent,
in a JSON format,
exactly.
or
And
data lake, Azure Cosmos DB.
exactly, sir, good answer.
Um, uh, uh, document DB is JSON format, data lake, uh, and I mean, yeah, the other one, I think the other one, which is Azure, the containers one, which is Azure Blob Storage, that's unstructured, I believe. So this is semi-structured is data lake and Azure Cosmos DB.
Exactly. Excellent answer, sir. Excellent. But if I talk about semi-structured, let me just write it semi-structured only. Semi. So semi-structured data, semi-structured. So may I know from where semi-structured data would be generated? It's a reality, sir. It's
from
a
non
reality.
unstructured data sources, say
Semi, yeah,
social
semi.
media or
Exactly. Gaming, social medias, these are the prominent sources for semi-structured data, right? And in fact, it is a reality. Reality, yeah. So all organization, almost all the organization, they used to use what? They used to use the semi-structured databases. They used to use semi-structured databases, right? To store such data, to store the such data. So if I am on, sir, I am on structured data. If we are working with the banking, the railways, the airlines, the retails, then structured data would be, the structured source. The RDBMS is a good choice for that. But when it comes to semi-structured, as I said, it's a reality. Reality, yeah. So reality in terms of there are rules. I wouldn't say there are no rules. There are rules. There are rules, but these rules are flexible. You get the flexible rules here in semi-structured. Flexible rules, yeah, and it is schemaless. The same term. Previously, I mentioned the rules. Previously, I mentioned the schema bound. And this time, we are writing the terms here: flexible rules, and the schemaless. Likewise. So schemaless means schema means rules, and schemaless means flexible rules. Schema means rules, and schemaless means flexible rules. Now these rules are like, I have my document, my JSON document, right? I have my JSON document. In a document, I have an ID, I have a name, and I have date of birth. But on another document, I have ID, then I have name, then I have email, then I have address, right? So these two are, let's say, date of birth, or let's say height as well. So hobby or anything. I have two records, but these two records are totally different to each other. Totally different to each other. These two records are. If I have to store these two records in a RDBMS, then what I have to do, sir? If I have to store this data in RDBMS, then how is that possible or not? Of course, it would be possible, but I have to create lot and lot more columns. There would be lots of null values. To handle it, it would become unmanageable. Am I right, sir?
yeah.
You, yeah, yeah. So if I have to store this data on RDBMS, would it be possible?
No, because it's not structured. No, from obviously not null columns and all that. It's not possible with the structure.
Manageability would be increased, then might my database won't be able to support these formats, right? So these things cannot fit under the structured format, right? It cannot fit under the structured format. In a structure, there would be predefined rules, date of birth. I said not null, there should be some value, but in my document I have not received the date of birth. Likewise, rules cannot fit, right? And fixed styles and the different columns are there in both of the documents, right? So here in semi-structured, we can ignore. ignore all such things. We can ignore it. This, email. On another side, I have date of birth. Here we can ignore it. Now, when it comes to let's say social networking, right? The Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, we almost throughout the continent, most of the people, 99% people are using the same thing, right? Lots of accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we don't have any hard and fast rule. Each and everything might not be mandatory, everything not be mandatory, right? No hard and fast rules, but database have a rule, so many rules. So if I have to tweet someone, I have to tag someone, I have to like or dislike post for someone, do I need transaction for that? I don't think so we need a transaction for that. But database, everything would be stored in a transaction, but right there, not like of transaction, right? It's all up to you. No hard and fast rule, not mandatory. If it is uh, you know more than 18 or more than 22, then those guys only can use the FB or Instagrams. No as such rules are there, right? So it is, uh, I would say, free flow and schemaless architecture. Less architecture, free flow, flowless. There is no as such flow. I am free bird. I can do anything in semi-structured. And the prominent sources are for this XML, right? JSON, Parquet, JSON, XML. These are the some prominent formats for this. Formats, I would say, not source. If I said previously, these are the prominent formats for this, right? Because such data cannot fit under to the RDBMS structure. So softwares for this would be, if I go back on-premises, you said to me, uh, Cosmos DB, yeah, of course, Cosmos DB. I will put more light on this, on its APIs, on module number 9. But right there, just somewhat about the semi-structured data. If I go back on, I would say on-premises, there might be MongoDB, right? Cassandra, Redis, right? And Neo4J, sorry, Memcache. Yeah, these are the choices. Lot more, lot more databases are available to store the semi-structured data. But again, I'm talking about the on-premises. We are on cloud. So all these would be replaced by Cosmos DB. Yeah, right. Might be purpose for MongoDB is to store the document. Cassandra is for column store. Redis is for key value. Neo4j for the graph. These are the different APIs which I'm talking. In module number 8, I will discuss those. Right. All these things are replaced by the Cosmos DB. Right. All these things are replaced by the Cosmos DB here. And when it comes to unstructured data, now there is no rules. There is no rules. Right? No rules, yeah. Not mandatory, primary key, foreign key, nothing here. Nothing. No engine behind it. No engine behind it. Right? I may have a log data. Yeah. I may have an image. Yes. I may have a video. Yes. I may have audio. Yes. I may have, the document. Yeah. All such would be supported where unstructured data would be treated as unstructured data. Right? While we are on premises, remember we have B loop, C loop, binary large objects on premises, character large objects, right? On premises, we have our own local server, own local server. We have, but while we are on on-prem, we have what? Sorry, on cloud, we have storage accounts. We have storage accounts then, right? For local storage server, I have to manage what? I have to manage my, the networking. I have to manage the backup, the security, the availability, the manageability. I have to insert the hard disk manually. All such I have to do by my own. But when it comes to cloud, we have storage accounts, right? I need not to worry about the availability, their networking, all such things would be resolved. Very cheaper as well, very cheaper. Performance, cost effective. Performance is there while we are on cloud. We are having a storage accounts, or for analytical purpose, we have what? We have a data lake, right? And when it comes to the last one, the stream data. For stream data, I would say stream data, yeah. So have you aware about the stream data, Raj sir?
No, no, he didn't. No, haven't
No,
heard about string data.
you have no problem. So a semi-structured or unstructured is clear. Structured, semi,
Yes.
unstructured.
Yeah.
Up to here, I believe everything. Yeah, fine. So now we are on stream data, because as a data engineer, we have to know about all these types of data. As a data engineer, how we have to host it, how we have to manage it, how we have to process it, how we have to take care about the security. Doing all these things is a data engineer actually, right? When it comes to stream data, even though we have two modules for this, two modules, Databricks, module number 11, module 10, Stream Analytics for this. But here I will write the rough diagram for this, so that on later part, might be on after tomorrow, we would cover the module number 11. Tomorrow or might be after tomorrow, yeah. So stream data is continuously, data is coming continuously from some source, from some physical device, from some sensors. I may have sensor, I may have my own app, and I would say
Okay, yeah. There's a batch and stream. So batch is generally coming in batches. Stream is like serially one.
exactly, sir, exactly. Continuously, data is coming continuously. But let's say
Yes.
data is coming continuously. Sometime you are unable to process it. Then my sources keep continuously generating that data, and you are not able to process it. Then the between the source and the analysis, rest of the data would be where? That will be gone, or what? I need some mechanism for that. To process the stream data, we need some mechanism for this. So here I would say I have a source. I may have my sensors. I may have my own APIs, or I say system app, or I may have applications, right? So data, let's say sensors on a traffic light, share market, temperatures, right? On a traffic light, let's say, or a fraudulent calls I have to monitor. For this region, how many fraudulent calls are there, right? For this traffic signal, how many vehicle cross the red signals? I have to capture those. Just give me those, I would say locality wise, the region wise, the area wise. Give me the details. How many vehicles cross the red signal? Just give me those data, that data. Uh, Perform, for every hour, every 5 minutes, how many vehicles pass the uh, red signal, or what's the speed of the vehicles, what the how many vehicles cross the speed. Give me the temperature of this point, give me temperature for that point. I have to analyze it. I have to analyze all such kind of data, right? If I say I have to perform analytics on that data, how? I have to perform analytics. I have to perform analytics on that data. There might be uh, my BI tools, my BI tools, might be my BI tools. I have to store that data somewhere. I said I have to store this data on. I have to store this data on my storage account or on a data lake, right? We are on, remember sir, we are on destination and we are on source. These are my sources which are continuously generating the data, my sensor, system app, applications, anything. And I have to perform analysis on that data. I may have to store it somewhere. I may have to perform the analytics by using the BI tools. Then what? How? Okay. So Microsoft says, yeah, of course it is possible. It is. How? So here from the Microsoft Azure, hmm, from the Microsoft, they have provided us to to capture that data, to process that data. Some services are there. Some services are there. These services, I have what? Event hubs. Have you heard about the event hubs, sir? Uh,
Event hub.
yeah, event hubs, sir. Have you heard about it? Internet on things. IoTs. I have IoT hub. Internet on things hubs. But this is just for the demonstration. IoTs are not there. They have not discussed about the IoTs right there. We have event hubs. We have event hub to hold this data, to hold this data which might be coming from different sources, different applications. Likewise, I may have to process this data and I need a proper mechanism. While configuring the event hub, I have to create a namespace, but I'm not talking about the namespace. Let's say namespace, right? There is a namespace. Inside the namespace, we have to create the event hub, and the event hubs are capable to listen the request from the source. They can listen the request from source, and they are capable to send the data on a proper destination, right? On proper destination. And for that we have stream jobs. From the Microsoft, we have stream jobs. We have stream job. In a stream job, I have to add what? I have to add my input. I have to query it. I can query it. I have to put the data on proper destination, right? There would be input. Input would be what? Input would be my event hub. My IoT's input would be. And I have to create. I will write my logic. I will write my logic. Yeah. Just perform a group by windows, tumbling windows, right? All this. I have to query it. I have to send it on somewhere. That would be my output. And that output might be my data lake. Output might be my BI tool. Let's say real-time dashboard. Have you heard about the real-time dashboard, sir?
Real time dashboard. No.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. In module number 10, we'll do that real-time dashboard. So as of now, stream data, continuously data, my sensors are continuously generating that data. So by using some proper mechanism, some proper protocols, while using the event hubs or IoTs, right? I am capturing, I'm just storing the data and I am sending this data to my stream job. Let's say for a while, my data lake is not available, is not available, right? My data lake is not accessible for some reason. Then the data which is generated by this sensor, let's say for a 1 hour, this data lake was not available. The data for a 1 hour would be gone. Hmm?
Yeah.
No, my event hub have a capability, sir. My event hubs have a capability. I can provide while configuring, while creating my service. I can say, hey, event hub, you have to store this data for 1 day, for 2 day, for 5 day. If my destination is not available, it can keep the data. It have its own memory as well. It can store that data. That's how. And stream jobs, the alternative to stream job is Databricks. Alternative to stream job is Databricks. So in a Databrick, we can use what data streaming, right? Either while creating the event hub, we can process this data using the Databrick, or can use what? Can use Stream job. It's from Microsoft. Stream Analytics, it's from the Databricks. And then afterwards, we can analyze that data. We can analyze that data. We can create the dashboards. We can create the dashboards, the data which is coming from the sensor. This we will do in module number 10, sir. How we can monitor the fraudulent calls, how we can create the event hubs and all such, right? So as a data engineer, so we should know about all the types of data. And this time again, I was talking about the data break. So data break is, you know, would provide me what? Would provide me the computation and the organization of a modules, which I mentioned previously. So this is in this fashion. This is first we will talk about the computation. First we'll talk about the computation is Databricks only. Then we'll talk about the stream data. Then we'll talk about the all both things, computation and storage. Then things would be easier later on, right? The same thing we are doing with the Databricks, and then we will start everything while doing the Synapse Analytics. Whereas Microsoft doesn't recommend to use the Databricks because it's a, Databricks is a different organization. Databricks is, right? And Synapse is service of a Microsoft. Microsoft Azure. It is a service of, right? These are the just few terms, the structure data, the data engineer, why we need it, huge performance, MPP systems, stream data, semi-structured data that I was just wanted to discuss. Do we have any concerns up to here, sir?
No.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So if I come to the lab, so how we have to configure the lab. So before going ahead with the lab, can we have a break at this time, and post break we can start the configuration of a lab
Yeah, absolutely
if
fine.
it is okay? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
sure.
fine. Perfect.
All right. So I'll put the
When are we
timer
catching up
clock.
again?
After 15 minutes, no problem. I'm just putting the timer clock on the window. I will
Okay,
put the timer clock here. All right, so I'm just putting the timer clock and we would be back after 15 minutes.
perfect. Thank you. right then.
Hi, sir. Back.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we can start the lab configuration.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. For lab part, let me share my screen. For lab, actually, sir, it needs, I would say, the new Outlook account, sir, where we can apply the past sponsorship. Are you getting this, sir?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, no problem. We'll give you the link where you can either you can create a new Outlook account, let's say. Uh,
No, I already have Outlook account.
no, sir. No, I needs not I for the training. It needs a new account because there might be already subscriptions are active on that account.
No, no,
That's
I haven't activated any subscription on the account that I'm going to give you.
come again, sir.
Do you want to check it?
Yeah, I wanna check it, sir. You can share your screen, please. Where you have activated and have you created it right now or it is
So
previously
should I be
created?
going to portal.azure.com? Is that where do you want me to go? Within?
Not sir. You have created this account when, sir? Recently or it was older account, sir?
Like probably 3 months back.
Okay, 2, 3 months back. No. Have you activated any subscription on that previously?
I don't think so. Do you want me to
Yeah.
check it? I'll go to
Yeah.
portal.azure.com and have a look.
Yeah, just can share your screen and can come to the subscriptions. But make sure there should not be any subscription active on that account. So otherwise, it would be a huge problem for us, honestly.
Can you see this?
Uh, yeah, I can see it.
So there's nothing activated. So if I
Come to
if I look in,
subscriptions.
shall I click on
From
this?
subscription, yeah. Okay. Right now
Yeah,
there is
brand
no.
new, right?
Yeah, exactly. I need a brand new account. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing
It's
activated on this.
yeah. There is any filtered option where you can check the inactive subscription like that. Inactive subscriptions. Not I guess. I guess the brand new account then.
Yeah, I think I have to start this, right?
No, not this way. Not this way. Wait, I'll tell you, sir. I'll tell you. I will give you the pass as well. I will give you the pass, sir. Just in moment. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah. Do you need all these or not, sir? Can I close it?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Right, let me invoke the my LOD first.
Can I use my work account?
Work account for training purpose, I would say it would cost, sir, because it have to create the resources, sir. So
Okay.
for training purpose, you have to create a new account. On that account, you have to activate the subscription, sir,
Okay.
because you will get the 100 or 150 USDs. And meanwhile, the training, you have to use those USDs, sir, for because it would create lots of resources and it would be costly if you would use your own personal account, sir, official account. So that's what I said. We have to create a new brand new account. On that account, we have to apply the subscription. Let me come to one more place.
So we, I told you right. We work-wise, we are a Microsoft Gold consultancy.
Yeah,
So I get like a, do you know the Visual Studio license?
yeah, I know, sir. I know, so
Yeah, I get some resources from that.
exactly. That's fine, sir. But for this training, we are specific, sir. We are specific
Okay.
for this training, right? For this training, these are the modules. For these modules, resources we need to create. And these resources we would create on the Outlook account, right? On that Outlook account for the training purpose. And we have to perform the lab, this lab, this lab, this lab, so on and so forth. We would have to work on those resources. It will create the synapse, it will create the data breaks, create the event hubs for us. And we have to work, perform the hands-on on those stuff, those resources. That's how the thing is, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
For your own reference, for your own practice, own purpose, you can use any account, sir. But for training, I would recommend you have to use a one account. Okay.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Let me, yeah, sure. Let me come inside my account, my LOD.
So shall I create a new Outlook account or the one that I've shown you is that good enough?
Okay, my password got expired. Meanwhile, sir, I would request you can just create a Outlook,
Okay. Create one. Yeah.
and from here you can say sign up.
Okay. Create account.
Let me reset the password for my uh, machine. Once account would be created, sir, please do let me know. Then afterwards, I'll give you the pass and the link. Then to redeem the subscription on that account, sir.
Yeah, just a moment. It's almost
Yeah,
done.
no problem, no problem. I know it would take a while. No problem, sir. Meanwhile, I'm also creating a my account where I will activate the subscription. Okay, fine. You can keep it just for up to you, sir. This account. Okay, so shall I give you the link and Azure pass for this account?
Yeah.
Okay. So to redeem the Azure pass, come to first this link, and then you have to provide the credentials. Make use of the same account, the latest one, sir, and you have to use this pass, this one. This one. I'm also doing the same thing. If you wanna share my screen, I can, sir. I'm also doing the same thing.
So ready to get started,
Do you
try
wanna share?
Microsoft Azure Pass and I click on start
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
it says
Provide the
confirm
same
Microsoft
credentials,
account.
Raj
Yeah,
for data engineer. Mhm. Then it would ask you to provide some information.
yeah, we are processing your request.
Then it would take a while. And I have to do the same thing for that. Is it okay if I would share my screen?
Yeah,
Okay, let me share my screen. I just created a new account. I have created a new account and I have to activate the pass subscription on that. I will make use of this link. This link, then I have to provide it here. Then it would ask me for the account where you wanna apply the pass sponsorship. Yeah, I have to say start. Then it would ask me for the credentials and I created a new account from the Azure portal. Okay, I have to provide the latest credentials which I just created. RAS training at the rate within Rana one. I would apply the sponsorship on this one because I already have got on Microsoft dot account, and same I used for different reasons, and I would apply the pass on a same one current password. Okay, say sign in. Then immediately it would ask me to confirm the account. I
Yeah.
confirm, and here I have to apply the pass. I provided you this pass, this one, then I will use mine one. I will take it and provide it here. Okay, claim the promo code. Yeah, it would take a while now. Have you managed to get it redeemed or still it is processing?
So I'm setting up my account. It's in the process of
Yeah, yeah, fine, fine. So once in your case it would be redeemed, then stop it. Then afterwards there are different steps that we have to do.
okay.
Hmm. Let me provide the informations and all such.
Okay. It has redirected me to Azure
Azure
portal now.
portal. Yeah, now it is successful. Uh, you can come to subscription, then you can come to your active subscription and check your balance. 150 or 100 USD would be there. Just check it. I'll come to subscription. Then from here, your sponsorship. Then from here, I'll come to billing. This section, sir. Are we on the same place?
Yeah.
Okay. Then afterwards,
Click
I
on check
will
your
for yeah, check balance, sir.
150 USD. Yeah.
Yeah, same for me. 150 USD. And these, USD would be sometime it is enough. Sometime it got exhausted. When? When we are not managing the resources properly. Let's say we are performing the lab. At the end of the lab, they said, pause the SQL pool, terminate the data breaks. We have to. Pause the session, we have to. If not, so let's say we perform the lab on a Friday and it is my resources are continuously to running on a Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, we will check. There is no USD. Amount would be exhausted. In these cases, we have to take care about that. So,
Yeah. Take down the
right.
resources.
Yeah, just pause your data warehouse, just terminate the cluster, all such. For the practice purpose, for the lamp, this 150 USD are good enough because we have to follow the instructions, right? And in the
Mhm.
instructions, they wouldn't ask us to create unnecessary resources. Whatsoever
Mhm.
resources are required, we have to create it. Not we have to. We'll just execute the script. So first I will do, sir. First I will do, for some reasons, we have created a brand new account for some reasons because there is a reason behind it. That's what. Sometime my lab configuration got fail. Sometime my lab configuration got fail. That's what. Now we are moving towards how we can configure the lab. So again, there are two ways. There are two ways to configure the lab. Let me. I just want to make the things transparent because I wouldn't say you cannot do the same thing on your own local computer. Yes, you can. You can do the same thing, right? If I would come to the GitHub, I'll come to this. Yeah, lab environment setup, right? Even though we can focus, we can configure the things on our local system, but sometime if we are using official computer or we are using the, the official computer or some domain restrictions are there. In that case, we won't be able to configure the lab in our own local system. For local lab, you can go to GitHub. Both ways I'll tell you. And now we have LODs, learn on demand. So we will configure lab here. And even if you want to try it, you can install download the setup right there. The steps would be same, but for local, there are some prerequisites. There are some prerequisites which I have. Those prerequisites we have to fulfill. So locally lab, yeah, but we have to fulfill this prerequisite when it comes to LOD. Yeah, in LOD we are going to configure the lab. So your lab is up to you on you, and I have my own lab. So I will jump into my lab. Rest assured, rest assured. Let me do first. Then afterwards you can do it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So first let me launch the lab, and once I would launch the lab, the same courseware, the same stuff, same TOC we will get here inside the lab. Inside the lab, same we will get, which was there. These are the, because these are the latest one. So it would take a while. Then we will start configuring the lab on this account which I created, RAS training, which I created, RAS training. On this account, I will create my resources. I will create my resources by using scripts. I have to create some necessary directories, right? Because it's on this DP203, things are, not from scratch. We have to configure the data break. We have to create the synapse. We have to create the event. We have to create the resource group. All such things are created automatically. They have make the ease of things Microsoft have made. You need not to create it. You just can use it. That's what we have lots of scripts for this. Not lots of. Right there is only one script which is capable to create all these resources for us, which we can use for the training purpose. All these are dedicated, are related to my instructions. Yeah, let me allow this now. And yeah, one more thing about this virtual machine. If you are using big screen, that's okay. If you are not using the big screen, sometime the resolution got, disturbed for this VM. Like right now, I guess. Yeah, now it's perfect. But sometime I'll tell you the way. So I'll apply the pass here. Oh, sorry, password, and then I say hit enter. Yeah. So come on. Yeah. For this lab, if I come to my computer on C drive, there is no as such thing called DP203 directory, right? In the
Yeah.
instructions, they have clearly mentioned if I just logged in, then afterwards I have to say next. So see, they said If you have already redeemed Azure Pass subscription, use the link above. There might be link they have provided. T I can might be on which I provided to you, and redeem the Azure Pass afterwards. Module 1 says about the lab. We have to set up the lab environment with a pre-installed virtual machine. It is right. The following instructions. So time completion, it would take just 5 to 10 minutes for us to to configure the lab, but for sorry to perform the lab step, but for configuration it would take 45 minutes to 1 hour. It would take to configure 1 hour something, 45 minutes to 1 hour. So requirements they said. So before starting up, you will need an Azure account with the ability to create Azure Synapse Workspace. Now it is by default. Now this is default permission. Previously we have to enable it. Previously. Now we can forget about this. Now important note, using the Azure Pass sponsorship, okay. If you are using an account which you have redeemed the previously subscription on that, then you have to follow this. Go to your portal, make uncheck the deactivated subscription, make default the active one. All these things we have to do. If we have created the previous account, subscriptions are there, but still it would throw me an error, that's sure. In most of the cases, if we are using the older account, it is unable to create. Some of the resources got failed. That's what we created a new account, new brand new Outlook account. We applied the sponsorship on that account. That is the reason. So it was the main reason. That's what we created a new brand new account. Now it says startup, set up the lamp. So to set up the lamp, I have to go to the search window and I will look for the PowerShell. Okay, I'll look for the PowerShell. PowerShell, not PowerShell ISC. Right now, look for the PowerShell and then run it, not PowerShell ISC. I'll come to PowerShell, run it as an administrator. Okay, yeah. Now, once I executed, I ran the PowerShell. Then afterwards, in the PowerShell window, I have to execute these commands, these below commands. These commands will first create the DP203 directory in a C drive. Then I'll moving to switching to that directory. Then they will clone the things, the directories inside the DP203 from the GitHub.
Yeah,
I'll come to,
Ethan, just a moment. There is someone at the door knocking on the door.
yeah, sure, no
There's a
problem,
delivery. Just a moment.
no problem. I'm just stopping here, please.
Ethan, I'm back.
Yeah, okay, sir. So I have to execute these scripts. First, it would create the directory, then I'll go to that directory, then I install this repository in my DP203 directory. Okay, hit enter. It would take a while.
Do you want me to follow this with you,
No,
or do you want me to wait?
no, sir, no, because on the way there are just two, three things that we have to do. I just wanna say you just can watch me and later on can share your
Okay.
screen,
No
then you
problem.
can configure.
Yeah.
No problem, sir. because it would ask us for 2 3 things on the way. If we will do the same thing on local machines, how? Let me go back. Meanwhile, it's updating the file. I would be back here. So the same steps I have to follow here. They said the requirements you must have a Azure account, right? The PowerShell, the instructions from here I will get. But the files, which files are being downloaded now? These files I will get here. These files would be here. All files right there. I have to download all these files. I have to download from go to files or no. There would be a zip file option way. There would be code. Yeah, download zip file from here. I can keep it where? I can keep it into my C drive. I can keep it into my C drive like this. Yeah, right here I keep those files, right? But you have to fulfill some prerequisite, and these prerequisites would be these prerequisites are Git must be installed, right? They must be installed a Git. Then PowerShell version, I have to check the PowerShell version. It must be 7 or more than 7. Then afterwards we have to configure the execution policy and we have to install the Azure modules on local system if you want to configure it on local system. But while we are doing the lab, I need not to go inside the virtual machine, inside the Azure portal from here. I can use the same account on my computer as well. We can use because right there inside the virtual machine, it would be a bit slow as compared to my computer. Okay, so once it is done, I'll do what? To execute the local script, local PowerShell script, I have to execute the policy, execution policy as unrestricted to execute the local script. Yeah, so I have to say A for all, hit enter. Once I hit enter, then I'll move ahead to the next step. Yeah, if you are received a prompt, then you have to enter A, yes to all. Yeah. In the fourth one, it says PowerShell, the following commands change the directory. This command will change the directory. I will change my directory to automation. Okay. And in automation directory, I have to execute this script. And this script is responsible to create all the resources for us, right? I'll execute this script, hit enter. Now it would take 45 to 1 hour, but just for meanwhile, even initially, it would ask me to provide the Azure credentials. I have to provide it would ask me to provide Azure credentials. I had to provide the Azure credentials. Then afterwards, again, it would authenticate it. Then afterwards, I have to provide the database password, SQL database password, these 3 things. So now I can see the pop-up for my browser. I would be back here. I will provide my credentials, Raj, training, Microsoft.com. Okay, next. Again, it would ask me for the credentials. Yeah, you can close this window and redirect to automatically it would redirect to CLI documentation. So you can close this window. Okay. So again, it is prompting me for something. Yeah, it is prompting me to provide the what? Account name, and this time for to create a resources. Previously it logged into my account, and this time it just wanna create a resources, right? My sponsorship, my subscription, all these things, it would display right there. This account I'm using, yeah. So let me provide the account to create a resource. Now, after a while, once I provided it, it again it would prompt for SQL database password, and there would be you know some password policies, so we can provide the password as a pa55w.rd, because later on it would be able to memorize. Yeah, now I have to provide the password for my SQL database. I said pa55, capital P actually. Yeah, and hit enter. That's it. Now see the further instructions while the script runs. So we can move ahead, because it would take 45 to 60 minutes, but we have to monitor it. Sometime it throws an error. It throws an error. Some warnings we have to ignore, because later on we have to check whether all the resources are got created or not. Likewise. So these three things, make sure to remember. Provide the Azure account, then for to create a resource, then SQL database password. Now, sir, you can do the same thing. Am I audible?
Yeah, Hiten. So shall I
Yeah.
start?
Yeah, you can start, sir, step by step. So make sure.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it, sir. I can. Wait, sir. Wait. Instead of saying copy paste from there, we can use the T typing facility, sir. Just click on inside the PowerShell, click on a T. That's it. Likewise, hit enter.
taking some time.
Yeah, no problem, sir. It is done.
Okay, done now. So the next step,
Set the execution policy. A.
and the next step,
Yeah, move to this directory. Hit enter. Now just execute the last script. Yeah. This script is responsible to create all the resources, sir.
okay. So is this provided by Microsoft? This piece, all this?
Yeah. Yes, sir, it
Okay,
is. Provided by the Microsoft, sir.
okay. With the training modules.
Yeah, exactly, sir.
Okay. So now I have to open up.
No, not I have to. Automatically it would open, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, fine.
There's a difference in the keyboard.
No problem. No
When I
problem.
type it doesn't.
If you wanna use the virtual keyboard, that's also available here. Virtual keyboard. On the left and top side, sir, there would be a virtual keyboard as well. There is
No,
prop.
I'm okay.
Fine then.
Um, I think I should be good. I got used to it now.
Provide the password, sir, for SQL database.
Yeah.
Okay, now it would start creating the resources, sir.
Okay. Cool.
Sometimes there might be errors, but some errors, not errors, warnings we can ignore. But sometimes it completely fails to create a resource. Not often, sometimes. So once the lab would be configured, then we can, you know, jump to the module 1, and then module 1 there would be exercise. Then step by step we will go ahead. I'll cover the one module, then you would perform the hands-on on the same. I will do my own stuff, my own demonstration, because as I said earlier, Data engineering is more about the hands-on, more about the practice. So there are lots of things module wise which are dedicated, and we would perform step by step all these things. Even in the instructions they said once you would start configure the lab, then can move ahead. We already covered some introduction part and then we jump to the lab.
Okay. Do you, do you want to share? Stop sharing while it's
Or
getting on.
no, I just you just wanna make sure there should not be any sort of errors, even though still
Okay.
my
Yeah.
script is running, but you can monitor it, sir. If you would say you wanna behind the scene run it and we wanna start another module, we can, but I'll just wanted to make sure lab is properly configured, sir.
Okay. Sure.
Even though my one is also running. If you wanna stop the screen, you can, sir. Just can, we can wait for to get it complete.
No problem. We can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. While so you had completed the training on DP Azure Data Fundamentals, I believe it was DP 900.
Yeah.
Then you had used Sandbox, or you used the sponsorship or the past sponsorship on that.
I didn't because I didn't use anything like that.
Mhm.
It was all theoretical that I've read, and also from Azure Cosmos DB, or for example Azure uh, what you call the data factory, or Azure SQL storage. So all these things I've used hands-on, like in my
On
job,
okay.
on job. So
Oh,
I've not done anything outside, especially to learn hands-on. So this is going to be like uh,
not a
very
new.
much hands-on first time for me, especially Databricks,
Mhm.
uh, Synapse, say analytics and stream analytics. All these things are going to be new things for me.
Because I'm just asking, sir. On DP 900,
Mm,
there would be a sandbox, and there are some instructions as well. Right, it was just basic, very startup, the introduction course it was. If you wanna go
mhm,
as a, I would say, the stream, three different streams are there. If you are doing the your fundamentals, you can go for the data engineer, you can go for the data analyst, and you can go for the data scientist. These things over there, they have just for as a startup, they have designed that course for this. But right there are huge labs, sir. Huge labs. Don't be get afraid. They guys are using in the lab instructions. We have to use Python, we have to use the Scala as well, but
Hmm.
it would be initially for while we are using the Databricks. Again, I would repeat the same thing on tomorrow because Databricks is not a product of Microsoft. Is not a product of Microsoft. It would just give
Apache.
you the computation. Yes, please go ahead.
It's Apache, right?
Yeah. So in a Databricks, we have to use some scripts, right? And those codings would be available for us. We just have to read the instructions. I'll tell you, and tomorrow while we would start working on module 1 SLAM, we have to follow the instructions, very simple instructions. Just read the instructions. What this command will do. Yeah. Or some data frames, some notebooks we need to create, so in the lab.
So
But it was,
while we are on that, let me just uh, share something with you.
yeah, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. Now you're saying that there are some sandboxes in here in the learning path.
Sandbox, sandbox, sandbox. Okay. You are talking about the DP 900, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Do one thing, sir.
Let's
Do one
see if
thing.
there is
On the
anything here.
next,
Yeah. It
open up a
says
one more.
something. Yeah. You're right. It says something. We need to do these things.
Yeah, these are the instructions. Likewise, we have to follow this step by step. First module I know because I teach the DP900 as well. First module was talking about all the data concepts, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, write some tools, and then after that it was talking about completely semi-structured, completely unstructured. Then afterwards the Power BI, Synapse Analytics. Fourth module was. Four modules are there only. And we have to activate the sandbox. On that sandbox we can perform the hands-on. They would ask us to create a SQL database. They would ask us to create the linked service, create a Cosmos DB, all such, create
Yeah. There is
another
one here.
services. Yes, sir. Likewise, create a SQL database, create a one two more database they would ask you to create. PostgreSQL, MySQL they would ask you to create. So they are
Post.
integrated Azure. Yeah.
Okay. What I'll try to do is see this is the you're saying this is the sandbox, right?
Right.
So
We have
I
to
need to
activate
execute them
this.
here.
From here, it was, I believe, module number 1 or 2, not sure. Okay, sandbox. It is just for like we are doing in our DP203, it is configuring the resources. Sandbox here, it would configure the resources for us. This CLI interface, we have to execute these commands on the
Okay.
CLI interface. It
Yeah,
would
got
create the resource for us. Likewise, git clone it is doing.
it.
Right, sir?
Yeah. So do you want me to
Likewise.
do now or outside the training so that I learn it?
No, 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 no. So just for your information, I wanna put light on this. For your information, of course, for DP9 you said there is no, you didn't do the hands-on, no problem. No problem on that. Because right now we are on data engineering, it's a ship, not it's a sorry. All these things would be covered right there. But the resources, if I talk about resources, would be created by the script. These things, Cosmos DB, yeah, we do have Cosmos DB here. They would ask us to create a dedicated SQL pool, yeah, we do have here. They will talk about the Power BI, we do have here. They will talk about the linked services. They will talk about the pipelines we do have here. There are details for, details of the TP900 in GP203 is.
Yeah, I'm not done all this. I think probably I will do this once we have. once my account set up, or even I can do this in the what you call the my office account. So they give some free resources, like I get like same 200 $200 of free use of resources. So probably I'll try that on that account and not waste anything on this one.
Yeah, I would say not don't waste anything on this account, but you need not any subscription for that, sir. You need not any subscription because Sandbox would create the resources. Sandbox would create the resources.
Okay. Yeah. So free resources, you mean to say?
Yeah, there we need
Uh,
not to create any subscription.
Subscription.
We don't need
It
any
won't pull
subscription.
money from the subscription, you mean to say?
No. Let me share my screen. I'll tell you then. I'll tell you, sir. Complete things. I'll tell you. Let me share my screen first. Okay. So similarly, I went for the DP203. Similarly, I would come to DP 900 GitHub instead of Microsoft Learn. They are the only, the contents, and here would be entire things about the lab and all such. So as I said, these are the instructions for this, right? Four modules are there. First module will talk about the relational concept, then the query, sorry, where it gone? Okay, it will talk about the relational databases. You can read the instructions if you are okay how they are creating. You have to go to on this exercise and right there, SQL database, PostgreSQL, MySQL. If you know these things, how to create SQL database, if you know, then why you need to perform these steps? Go to SQL, then come to SQL databases, provide the subscription, sandbox resource group, contoso database name, right? The resource, the elastic pool, provide this information. If you know all these things, then why you will perform all these things again? If you are aware about it, if you wanna perform this, then from here you can activate the sandbox. You have to provide the credentials. So you can provide, let's say this one. Okay, then it would activate the sandbox. Yeah, checking the compatibility. Sometime we use on Microsoft dot account that was denied here. Sometime. Not sure now it get resolved or not, but likewise we can activate the sandbox and we can start reading the instructions and we can continue to the practice. First this one and okay. Then again I would come to SQL query this one and provision a non-relational database, yeah, and query to a non-relational database. All these instructions we can go ahead. I have to come to this place for this I have to come to this lab 3 and the lab 4. If we know about these things, exercise, use SQL to query your SQL database. Again, we have to activate the sandbox. We have to set up our resources, right? Then connect and query, can come to SQL database, set the firewall rules. All these things are there, sir. If you know,
Okay.
that's fine. If you want to perform, you can perform it without any subscription. Likewise, sir. Yeah, I have 0 pills still. It would take sometime it would take 40 to 50 minutes. Sometime it take more than 1 hour. That's the thing. Okay, we can wait for it, and then once it would be done, then on we can start the further lamps.
How much programming is required for Databricks, for Synapse Analytics? Um, I know there's
Oh,
not much for Azure Data Factory, but for these two things, how much is it required?
see, rest assured, sir, for this course and for the certification as well,
Mm-hmm.
there is not much programming for the certification as well. But to become a good data engineer, if you know the
Yeah.
Python, if you know the Scala, then it's a good point, sir. Plus point it
Hmm.
is. But for the course, there is no as such programming. Forget about the synapse. There is a programming. There are the code-free pipelines. When it comes to Databricks, yeah, of course there are, but not much. Even in the lab, they have used lots of codes over there. The Scala, the Python codes they have used for the lab. Sometime initially, if we are not able to understand these codes, no, on the top on the codes, they have mentioned each and everything. This code will do what? That's what we are using it, right? And the
Yeah.
same stuff I will cover first. I will cover the same stuff first. For this course, only the data brick contains the programming, but apart from that, there is no as such programming. Comes to Synapse, come to security, come to stream, not much.
So I'm talking in terms of job perspective. Say, forget about the certification. So generally, are there enough resources for on job purpose? Say if if my company says, can you work as a data engineer after this course?
Okay.
And the thing is, I want to get resources on the job. For example, um, say from Stack Overflow, wherever it is. Do we have enough resources
Right there for the training purpose, for programming. For
for
programming, I
programming
would
for on job? Say working with the client.
for programming, sir, first thing, it depends on your requirement which resource you are using.
Hmm.
Might you are using Databricks only,
Hmm.
or in contrast, you are using Synapse only, you are using Data
Hmm.
Factory only, right?
Yeah.
So in Data Factory, you saw there is no as such coding. In a Synapse, again, there is no as such coding. But if
Hmm.
you are using Databricks, then
Yeah.
you must know the basic concepts of a Python or a Scala then. That's the
Okay.
thing, sir. Depends on your project, on your requirement.
Okay.
Hmm. And later on, rest assured, later on, we'll come to know the taste of Databricks and taste of a Synapse. Later on, we'll come to know the taste of these both components. Then you will realize how much Synapse is easy as compared to the Databricks.
Okay. Because there's no coding involved.
Yeah, exactly, sir. Exactly.
I mean, say job wise, I think Databricks is in more demand compared to Synapse.
Now in these days, Synapse is becoming popular. Now in
Okay.
these days.
Because I mean, Databricks is to deal with what you call um, big data, right?
Yeah, framework, big data framework. We have STFS, Hadoop distributed file system on the same stuff.
And
Uh,
Synapse is more of Azure related frameworks,
see,
if I'm
sir,
not wrong.
see, Synapse, uh, like you have to create, you have a data, let's say in two ways. You have structured data and you have
Yeah,
unstructured data, right?
yeah,
Previously, we discussed initially about structure and Semi-structured data, right? So for semi-structured data, what you will do, you have to keep it on where? Either on a storage account on a data lake, right? If you have to process it, or you may can use what the Cosmos DB. For
Mm-hmm.
structured data, we have to create a service, dedicated SQL pool or data warehouse. Previously it was known as a data warehouse. Now see the things. One service I have to create data warehouse. One service I have to create storage account. Another service I have to create uh, the Cosmos TV. If I have to process it, I need a computation. Computation, who will give me? Databricks will give me the computation. For service, I have to create a for service in my project, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Am I right up to here? Then
Yeah.
I have created for service. Still, I'm not complete. I may have unstructured data as well. I have unstructured data as well. To manage the unstructured data, I need a event hubs. I will create another fifth service, event hubs. Event hubs, the custom streaming data, of course. Databricks can manage semi-structured uh, stream data, right? Both these two. But when it comes to structured data, if we have to process the structured data through Databrick, it would be costly. It would be costly, right? Databrick can process semi-structured data, custom stream data, structured data, but structured data would be a bit costly. I have to create Databrick, I have to create my warehouse, I have to create my storage account. Five
Mm-hmm.
services I need to create. But now, if I come to the Synapse Analytics, Microsoft says instead of these five services, you just can use one workspace. Inside that workspace, everything is embedded. Why you would create, why you would recall, you would memorize five services?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is under one roof because structured data needs different engine, semi-structured data needs different engine. And all these engines are inside Synapse Analytics.
So basically, that's a platform. Instead, the other one is more of infrastructure kind of thing, where you have to get your own platform on. But this is like a platform as a service where everything is under the hood and you're just using it.
Using it exactly.
Okay.
That's the synapses. Mine one is completed up to 72%, so
43.5 for me.
okay. So it will take it was 10 minutes something. It would take to reach up to 75, 10 to 12 minutes. And failed and error is zero up to here. For me, it is zero.
So far failed is zero for me. Yeah.
Yeah, fine then, fine. I believe you are on leave till 3 and 4th, and for the training, you have to wake up at 8 a.m.
Yeah, it is like that. Yeah. I don't have work, so I'm only started from this week, starting from Monday.
Okay.
Um, we have mandatory leave till
Okay.
3rd of January.
And so
Anyways,
you
the
are.
client won't pay us, so our company said
Hmm.
in this 15 days, do whatever you want.
Awesome. So you're working from home or working from office?
It's been 2 years now, 2+ years since I've been to office. From March 19th or March 16th, 2020, I've never been to office. And in UK, the cases are going up again. There are around 90,000 cases now. So, I mean, they initially thought they'll call us into the office for a day,
Mhm.
but after Omicron, they've said to us that sorry, we don't want people coming into the offices anymore.
The
So
same
if we
here.
have to go into the office, we have to take a special permission.
Oh,
We have to give a reason why we need to be in the office.
exactly same here. Corona got decreased and now Omicron start increasing. Same here.
How is it in India at the moment?
In India, most of the organizations have permitted for work from home, and it's been since March. It was for me 18th March 2020.
Mm.
We are working from home only.
But did they did they ask to come back last year? I mean, when the wave started, did they said that did they say that come back to offices?
No, not for us.
Okay, okay.
Not for us.
I mean, I have
Even
friends who said that their offices started and then again they stopped because of
yeah, it
second wave.
exactly, sir. It was I guess in July, August. Most of the companies start opening the office and they allow to the employees to come to the office. But
Yeah.
again, after 2 3 months, they stopped the same protocol working from office. They again allowing them to work from home. Some
Mm.
companies, of course, they opened the office and later on they again closed. But now still, most of the companies are, most of the people have to go to the office for other organizations, not for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and for us, if there is a on-site training, then our trainer, the senior trainer, or they would move on the location on the site and once training would be done. If the client is happy with the online, then fine, training would be online. If it is not, then trainer would move to the desired location and once training done, then he or she would be back to the home. Likewise, for some country, not for all, for just for some countries.
So do you have to travel? Say if your training is in UK, do they sponsor you to come to UK?
I'm not sure UK is open or not, but for Dubai it is open for us.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there's a big process of visa and all that, right? I don't think it's easy to get a visa to come to UK
Just for some
just for
country it is
training.
open for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. And even though our office is also there in UK,
Hmm.
happens what's if there is sometime if script got fail, we
Yeah.
won't be able to see any data in the Cosmos TP on module number 9. We have some difficulties sometime if it fails. But my one script says, not one script, one portion says it's complete, it's done up to 100%. Now again another one, it got done 93. Yeah, create SQL scripts.
So it says setup complete.
Hmm, for you.
Yeah.
It's still running. Just a moment. It's still running for me. Yeah, I am on last one where he was on a create pipeline. I am on this one. For me, it is also about to complete. So averagely on a one or a on everyday basis, because we have 4 hours, so we would try to cover 1 or 2 modules, right?
Yeah.
1 or 2 modules on a daily basis. If you would be able to cover one, then okay. Or if we are managed to get done 2 modules, then it's also completely fine. We can manage to cover 12 modules within these specified time frame. It's
Eight
not a big deal.
classes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is exactly.
It is.
It is. Usually, if I am on 8 hours, I cover 2 to 3 models on a daily basis, because labs time is also included here, and lab would take 2 hours, sometime 1.5 an hour, sometime 2 hours, sometime 1 hour, sometime 60 minutes, 80 minutes. Likewise, labs would take for this course, and lab time is also included here. So averagely, yeah, it get done for me. Setup complete, fine. A resource, Microsoft.com command, Cosmos DB resource that has been completed. Now lab is configured for us, and the same lab we have to use on tomorrow for module number 1. We would cover module number 1 just with the one exercise, not the second one. One exercise we would cover on tomorrow, then try to cover, I would try to cover Databricks as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So for today, we just understand the some basic concept, and we have configured the LAMP. And on tomorrow, we would start with the module number 1. We are good for
Okay.
today. Do we have any concerns, any query for today, sir?
No, not really. No.
But still, if you are wondering for the courseware, you can explore the lab. See next. You will get the same modules right there. These are the lab provided by Microsoft. These are the official stuff,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Now that's clear to me that I mean initially when we started, yeah, we were supposed to start on 17, but there are only 11 of them. But now it's clear to me that because obviously it's all Microsoft provided content, they only have 11 modules. So that's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I have raised the same concern why it is appearing still the 17 modules over there. It was updated, last updated on a July, sir. Since July, they have string the modules to 12, 11, including 012. Previously, this data engineering was combination of 2 courses, TP20, 200 and 201
Mm.
previously. But now they have in the latest, in the July, they launched another course, and since July again there are new updates, and on every month Microsoft have new updates on every month, in terms of options, in terms of facilities, in terms of, if I talk about the Power BI cloud, the cloud of uh, app.powerbi.com, there are updates. So
Okay.
these are the
Yeah.
updated contents which we have right now. This one is the latest one, updated one. The same you can access through e-courseware, which you have there in a skill pipe account, because I would be demonstrating the things to you. I will be clearing the concepts. I will perform the hands-on. I will perform the practice on the stuff. And later on, because on your skill pipe, you might have 400 to 600 to 700 pages over there. Detailed things would be there. You can come across to any time on those stuff, and some links. Of course, I would provide you some relevant links as well, like comparison between the this and that, right? Comparison between this, what is this, some links also on the way I will
Yeah,
give you, sir, of course.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Within.
Yeah, Raj.
How can I access the recording?
Okay. Have you received the LET portal, the credentials for LET?
I think there is something sent over to me, but I
Learning
need to look.
enhancing, learning, learn enhancing tool LET portal. The credentials would be username, password would be 108994 for that.
Okay.
Have you received it?
Um, I need to look in my because I'm using my personal laptop for this. But I mean, whatever has been sent should have been sent to my
Another.
official ID. So
Okay.
I'll log in and check if
Yeah. Can
I've
do one
received.
thing, can check the LET credentials would be there. If not, then please to intimate me on a tomorrow. I'll ask to the concerned person. He will put the LET credentials in a chat window. So,
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
okay. Yeah, sure. Just can look for sure you will get it. But if not, please to intimate me. So,
Okay, sure.
yeah. For today, I would say we are good, and we will meet on tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm, tomorrow same time 8 a.m. right?
Yeah, for the
Okay.
same time, but just hang in, sir, just while I'm looking for the. Yeah, I can see the. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, just check it in your email. If not, then I'll ask to the concerned person to put it on a chat window, sir, or to send you an email. But most probably you will get it on the email, sir.
So you're saying which one is this that I'm gonna get?
LET, learning enhancing tool, sir.
Okay. Let me have a look on my mobile. So there is LET URL. Is that the one?
Yeah, yeah, that one exactly, sir. Exactly that one.
Okay.
So
Can okay. Let
you
me
get
just
it.
try to log in from here.
The credentials would be
Yes.
there. Lab details and the meeting link and each and everything would be there. So a
Okay.
recording would
Let's.
be here within a 12 hours. It would take a while. 12 hours
Okay.
it would take to populate it here. Once we would close the session, recording would be stopped, then the automation team have some scripts, the automatically it would be uploaded on that portal. You can access it then
Okay.
on the same portal. So
The batch process.
are you able to open the LAT portal, sir?
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Um, okay. Where will the recordings go in?
In the recording tab, sir, the
Pausing
recording
right.
tab, there would be on the left hand side, there would be recording tab, sir. On there, you can get the recordings, sir. Recordings or something like that, it would be. If you would scroll down the page, then you will get it, sir.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Let's have a look at it tomorrow once.
Yeah, it's,
Class recordings. I think the recording link is not here because there are no recordings here.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Okay. No problem. We'll have a look tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sure, sir. Then we are good. It's a very nice day with you, and we'll see you on tomorrow at the same time.
Thank you very much. Then yeah, talk
Thank
to
you
you
so
tomorrow.
much.
Cheers.
Talk to you. See
Bye.
you, sir.